Muhammad is regarded as one of the greatest personalities in world history. He was born at Makkah in 570 CE or AD. He belonged to Qurayshi tribe of Makkah. Arabian tribe was made up of clans or a group of large families. Each tribe was led by a chief. When Prophet Muhammad was born in Arabia at that time, there was a lot of fight going on among the different tribes of Arabia. There was no unity. Might is right was the law. And the situation was complete chaos and confusion. In 612, Prophet declared himself as a messenger of God. Those who accepted the doctrine of Prophet Muhammad came to be known as Muslims. In the beginning, there was opposition of Prophet Muhammad in Makkah. People opposed him, so he migrated to Medina in 622 AD. He gathered his followers in Medina. A lot of people followed his principles. Then he again came back to Makkah, and then those who opposed, they also became his followers. Thus, Prophet Muhammad started teaching the doctrine of Islam. Soon the new faith spread to Arabia almost. Prophet Muhammad died in 632. After him, the authority was passed to Caliphate, religious beliefs of Islam. There is only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. One must pay namaz 5 times a day. On Friday, that is the day of Jummah, pray namaz in the mosque. One must distribute alms to poor. On the holy month of Ramadan, remain on fast from dawn to dusk. Must visit to Makkah once in lifetime. No Muslims should worship idol, not indulge in interest making. Follow fixed rule of marriage. Quran is the holy book. Islam believes in equality and brotherhood. Prophet Muhammad, याद आएगा ना पढ़ते हुए. After Prophet Muhammad, the leadership passed to Caliphate. And first Khalifa was Umar, first was Abu Bakr, second was Umar, third was Uthman, and fourth was Ali. And during the time of Ali, there was Muslim society, Ummah, that was divided into two sects, Shia and Sunni. That was divided into two sects. Now Caliphate. How Caliphate spread? How did the institution of Caliphate came into existence? Prophet Muhammad passed in 1632. 1632. After him, there was no one who could claim to be the next prophet. There was no established principle of succession. That is why the political authority of the prophet was given to Ummah. It created opportunity for innovation, but brought great divisions among the Muslims. One of the biggest notion was the creation of the institution of Caliphate. In it, the leader of community was given the responsibility of becoming the deputy Khalifa of the Prophet. The first four Khalifa, the first one was Abu Bakr, second was Umar, third was Uthman, and fourth was Ali. And finally, during the time of Ali, the Caliphate, the Muslim society divided into two sects. Third Caliph was killed by people. expansion of Islamic State. Initially, the Muslim community survived on agriculture, trade on arms, tax, zakat. Except this, Muslim also used to organize raids on Makkah, Karmans and nearby oases. After some time, Makkah was conquered by Muslim. As a result, Muhammad's reputation spread far and wide as a political leader and religious preacher. Many tribes, mostly Badawin. Arabia was dominated by Badawin's time before the birth of, at the time of the birth of Prophet Muhammad. Badawins were impressed by Muhammad's achievement and they converted to Islam. Those who opposed in Makkah, later on they accepted Islam. They joined the Muslim society. So the alliance of Muhammad began to spread in the whole of Arabia. Medina became the administrative capital of this emerging Islamic state and Makkah became its religious center. The Kaaba was cleansed of idols. It became necessary for a Muslim to face the shrine while offering prayers. Just within a short span of time, a large part of Arabia was united by Muhammad under a new faith, community and state. The early Islamic polity remained for a long time a federation of Arab tribes and clans. After the death of Muhammad, a number of tribes broke away from the Islamic state. Some of them even raised their own prophet to establish communities on the basis of Ummah. The first Caliph Abu Bakr launched a number of campaigns to suppress the revolt. The second Caliph Umar adopted the policy of expansion of the power of Ummah. The Caliph was aware of the fact that Ummah cannot be maintained with a small income which comes from the trade and taxes. For this, a lot of money was required, which is why the Caliph and his military commanders mustered their tribal strength so that the lands of Byzantine Empire, that is Greco-Roman Empire in the west, and Sasanian Empire in the east. Sasanian Empire was ruling in the present Iran. In the east could be conquered. The Byzantine and Sasanian, both empires had huge resources. Christianity was promoted by the Byzantine Empire and Zoroastrianism was patronized by the Sasanian Empire, which was Sasanian Empire was the ancient religion of Iran. On the eve of Arab invasion, strength of both these empires had declined because of religious conflict and revolts by the aristocracy. That is why it became very easy for the Arabs to conquer their territories through wars and treaties. Arabs brought Iraq, Syria, Iran and Egypt under the control of Medina with 3 successful campaigns, 637 to 642 AD. Arab became successful because of military strategy, religious fervor and weakness of the opposition. The third Caliph Uthman launched further campaign to gain control over Central Asia. In this way, just within a decade of the death of Muhammad, the vast territory between the Nile and the Oxus came under the control of the Arab Islamic states. These lands remain under Muslim rule on this day. Now, there was next is when the Muslim expanded. When the Muslim expanded and captured the Central Asia, they were able to capture Bethlehem or Jerusalem, which was the holy place of the Christians. So there were 3 crusades. Crusade means religious wars between Christians and Muslims. There was fight for the liberation of Bethlehem, the religious place of Christians. The Crusaders were fought from 1095 to 1291 CE between the Christians and Muslims. First Crusade. In the First Crusade, 1098, Antioch in Syria and Jerusalem were captured by French and Italian soldiers. Muslims and Jews were slaughtered in Jerusalem. They quickly established four Crusader states in the area of Syria, Palestine. Cohesively, these areas were called as out the land overseas. Later crusades were fought for defense and expansion of these regions. Second crusade, the outrember remained secure for some time, but Turks captured Edessa in 1144 CE. That is why the Pope appealed to the Lords for a second crusade. German and French army tried to capture Damascus, but were defeated after this. The strength of outrember gradually declined. Crusaders' zeal no more remained among Christians. Now Christian rulers began to live in luxury and fought battle over new territories. In the meantime, Salah ad-Din created an Egypto-Syrian empire and called for jihad against the Christians. Christians were defeated in 1187 CE and Jerusalem again came under the control of Muslims. But Salah ad-Din behaved very kindly with Christians. He gave the custody of the Church of the Holy Place to the Christians. Even then, many churches were turned into mosques. In this way, Jerusalem again became a Muslim city. Third Crusade. The loss of Jerusalem gave way to Third Crusade in 1189, but the Crusaders gained very little except some coastal cities in the Palestine and free access to Jerusalem for Christian pilgrims. In the end, in 1291 AD, the Mamluk rulers of Egypt drove away all the crusading Christians from the whole of the Palestine. Impact. The crusade left a lasting impact on two aspects of Christian-Muslim relations. Firstly, the Muslim states started to adopt a harsher attitude towards their Christian subjects. Secondly, the influence of Italian mercantile committees increased in the trade between the East and the West. That's all.